Welcome to another Feldenkrais lesson, Awareness Through Movement. I'm Ortal Goldshmid. I'm a Feldenkrais and child space practitioner. Today, our subject is how to improve mobility in our hip joints by changing the way we think, by opening our minds to new options. So now that you're curious, all you need to do is find a comfortable place at home for you to lie down. Remember to be soft and kind and gentle to yourself. It is you. And if you do so, then you can really listen and tune in and learn new ways of acting. Don't reach pain. If you feel any pain or discomfort, please stop. Try to reorganize yourself and really find a way to make the movement possible without discomfort. This is the true process of learning. The good thing about a recording lesson, is that you can stop anytime you need. So you can take the movement longer or you can take the breaks longer. So it's really about your own exploration in your own time and pace. I recommend you to repeat this lesson. As we repeat each movement to create more variations, this is how the learning process becomes deeper when you repeat each lesson. So remember to stay curious and enjoy, and let's begin. Please sit in a crossed leg sitting. Pay attention which leg is in the front and in the back. How far is your right knee from the floor, your left one? On which part of the pelvis are you leaning? Is it more forward or backwards? Is your back roundish or more straight? Are you leaning more to the left or to the right or more in the middle? And where do you make an effort? Where does it feel that you need to make an effort? Change the legs and feel, how is it here? How does it compare? Is it more comfortable or less? Did your brain know where to start from, which is more comfortable to you? So just let's keep this in our memory, in our minds, and we will come back to it at the end of the lesson. Please lie down on your back. Take a moment to invite yourself into yourself. How are you resting on the floor today? How long are you? How long are your legs? Pay attention to your right leg, how your right heel is leaning on the floor. Where are your toes directing to? Where is your knee pointing at? How is the contact between your lower leg to the floor, behind your knee, your thigh? And how does it compare to your left leg? The contact points of your heel with the floor, the direction of your toes, your knee, the gap between your knee and the floor, your lower leg, your thigh. And listen to your pelvis. Is one side leaning more than the other? And how is your back resting on the floor? The area behind your belt, in your lower back, How high is it from the floor? Your shoulder blades, your arms, your head. And take a picture of your whole self in the beginning of the lesson so we can compare. Listen to your breathing. Where do you feel the movement in your breathing, in which parts of yourself? And stand your feet wide apart. Let your right knee sink to the right and raise back up towards the ceiling. Do it many times, slowly and softly, comfortably. Feel the movement in your foot, how the weight is shifting to the outer edge and back. How far is your knee from the floor without making an effort? Is the movement only in the knee, or are there other parts of yourself that are participating? And the next time, just leave your knee to the right in a comfortable place and press your left foot to the floor to lift your left hip joint and bring it back down. When I say hip joint, I mean that the left side of your buttocks is lifted from the floor and then sinking back. So your hip is raising towards the ceiling, your left hip, and then going back down. Your groin is opening up and then closing to the starting position. And feel the seesaw movement in your pelvis, how one side is coming up while the other one sinking down. And does your head want to move? Are you holding it? Don't hold it. Let it do whatever it wants. And now do it quicker. Stop. Come back to the ceiling with your right knee and let it back down to the right. Did it get any smarter? What else is participating now? Can you feel movement in your pelvis? Maybe an echo in your chest? Stop and rest. Feel how your legs are resting now. Can you feel a difference in the direction of the toes, of the knee, in your right leg or in your left one? Stand your feet. Let your left knee sink to the floor. And take a moment to sense how does it compare. Listen to the movement in your left foot, how it rolls to the outer side and rolls back. How is the movement, how is the outer movement in your left hip? How far is the knee from the floor? And now leave it there on the left side. You can slightly drag the foot so it will be more comfortable, and press on the right foot so the right hip joint is rising up and sinking down. You can place your hands on your pelvis to feel the seesaw movement. How one side is lifting while the other is sinking. Keep on breathing. Pay attention that you're not holding your lips and your jaw. And now do it quicker. Simple, easy, quicker. Don't think about the movement, just let it happen. Stop and bring your left knee back to the ceiling and back down to the left. Is it getting closer to the floor now? Is it easier? What happened? Is it only your knee that learned? Or did your pelvis start to participate? Stop and rest. Feel your left leg, the direction of your toes, the distance between your knee and the floor, the direction of your knee. How do you breathe? Is it in new places? Stand your feet again wide apart and take them even wider. And let your right knee sink towards the left leg. So before we did the outer turning to the outside, and now we're turning the hip and the knee inwards, inside. And keep on breathing. How much movement do you have to this direction? How much can you turn without an effort? And now try to direct your knee to the left and down, towards the lower edge of your mattress, towards your left foot. Can it sink more easily to the floor now? And do you have any echo in your nose? Is your nose moving? Imagine that you have a string connecting between your knee and your nose. And feel how your knee is pulling your nose down and up. Keep on breathing. And do you feel an echo in your chest, in your chin, in your ribs? Stop and rest. Stand both feet wide apart and let your left knee sink towards the right. And coming back up. When are you exhaling? Is it when your knee sinking down or coming back up? Try both and see which one helps the movement. Can you feel an echo movement in your head? Listen to the movement in the back of your head. And think about directing your knee down, downwards. Inside and down. Exactly. Stop and rest. Is there any difference in the way you're resting on the floor? What is the floor telling you? Stand both feet wide apart And now let your right knee sink inward and then your left knee sink inward. So you alternate between them. Don't strain yourself. Stay in your comfortable zone, in your comfortable range. Keep on breathing. And now let's try to hold the movement of the pelvis. Don't move the pelvis and do the same movement. Do you feel that it's harder, that you need to make more effort, that the movement is stuck, and maybe you can even feel that you're holding your breath? And now let the pelvis participate and let your whole self participate. Don't hold back anything, just let the other parts of your body support this movement, make it easier, becoming an organic movement. Stop and rest. When you think about it, we are so used to separating, to following instructions and moving only one part of ourselves. The question is why? Why not move like a baby? Babies don't hold other parts. Babies let them participate, let them support, and then the movement is much more fluent and possible. Stand your feet and let them move from the right to the left. Let your knees both sink to the right and to the left, both of them together. And let whichever part that wants to participate, don't hold it back. Let it do whatever they want. Your head, your ribs. Does your head want to move with the pelvis or to the other direction? What is your chin doing? And now stop with your knees to the right. Take your left hand behind your head and lift your head from the floor and bring it back down. Do it many times. Exhale while lifting your head. Can you feel that your left hip is coming up towards your head? As if something is pulling it up. And now change your hand. Place your right hand and lift your head again. Remember to look straight forward towards your hips. Remember that we need to take the look with the direction of the movement. That's how we can support the movement, make it easier. Stop and rest. Stand your feet. Let both knees sink to the left. Organize yourself so it will be comfortable. And now place your right hand under your head and you're raising your head. You can let your elbow come with you towards your face and bring it back down. Exhale. And now change your hands. Continue to lift your head and feel the movement in your hip, in your right hip. it's as if there's an imaginary string that pulls your hip towards your head. Stop and rest. Stand both feet and let your knees sink to the right and to the left together. Is it easier? Is it more free, more fluent? Can you feel more parts of yourself participating? Can you breathe freely? Stop and rest. Stand your feet and let both knees sink to the right. And you can organize yourself, your feet, in a distance that it's comfortable for you to stay there. And take your right arm up above your head on the floor, so your palm is facing the ceiling. And your left arm is down beside your body, so your palm is facing the ceiling. And your face is to the left, facing to the left. And you are elongating your left hand, your left arm, as if you want to touch your left heel. So it's only the direction of the movement. It's not important that you really reach or touch your heel. And your head is looking to the left and rolling back to the middle. Every time you elongate your left hand, your left arm, your head is rolling to the left, and then when you go back up, the face is towards the ceiling. Can you breathe? Are you breathing? Can you make it a soft and long movement? Take your left hip up. Your left hip is coming up. And can you feel your back is arching? Is there any movement in your ribs? And now do it quicker. Whatever comes, freely, and stop and let go, rest. What are you feeling in your ribs now? In the left and the right side of your chest. Go back to the same position. Your knees are to the right. Your left hand is down. Your left arm is down. Your right arm is up. And now your face, your head is rolled to the right, towards your right arm. And you are elongating your right arm and raising your left hip. So your left hip is coming up from the floor towards the ceiling, and feel the movement in your head. How it's turning and extending, and your chin is coming up, and then it's rolling back to the middle, and your chin is more towards your chest. Stop and rest. Can you feel a difference between your right and left side? Stand both feet and let your knees sink to the left. Organize yourself in a comfortable position that you can stay there. And your right arm is down, palm facing ceiling. Your left arm is up above your head on the floor, palm facing ceiling. Your face are looking to the right. And you're elongating slowly and softly your right arm towards your right heel, as if you want to touch it. Maybe here it's easier and you're actually touching it, but this is not the goal. And maybe it was easier to the left. It's interesting to distinguish the differences, to which side we are more. It's more in our habit to flex to the right or to the left. So your hip is coming up towards the ceiling. It's coming up from the floor. So your right groin is opening up. You have more space there between your thigh and your belly. Look for it, explore. If it's not easy, don't continue. Look for another way. And you can do it quicker. If you found it, do it quicker. Stop and rest. Stand your feet again. Let your knees sink to the right again, to the left again. And now roll your head to the left, so you are looking at your left hand and you are elongating your right arm towards your right heel, and you're rolling your head to look at your left arm and back to the middle. And here as well, find the comfortable and the possible way to do this movement. So you're arching your back. Feel what's happening in the right side of your chest comparing to the left side. Where are your ribs flexing and where are they opening? Keep on breathing. And you can do it quicker. Feel the movement in your shoulders. Stop and rest. Take a moment to feel how you are resting on the floor now. Can you feel your whole self better, clearer? How is your back resting on the floor? The direction of your toes, your knees, the length of your legs, your arms. Are you breathing in new places? Roll your head to both sides. Feel how possible is the movement to one side and to the other. Sense the movement in your neck. Is there any echo in your spine, in your ribs? Stop and find your way up to sitting. Sit in a crossed leg sitting as we did in the beginning of the lesson. And take a moment to feel the differences. What has changed? Do you need to make less effort? Is it more comfortable now? Where? And switch the legs. How is it here? Did you discover something new? Is it interesting? And stand both feet on the floor. Your knees are bent, facing the ceiling, and you are leaning on your hands behind you. You can take your fingers forward or backwards. You decide. And now let your knees both sink to the right and to the left. So we can do that without moving our pelvis. Try to do it. So it will be only the movement of the knees and the feet. The feet are rolling on the floor. But now don't hold your pelvis, don't hold your chest, don't hold your head and your shoulders. Try to find a comfortable way, a possible way of doing this movement. Listen to your back. When is it rounding and when is it arching? When is your chin lifted up and when is it sinking towards the chest? What about your shoulders? Is one coming forward while the other backwards? And what about your belly? When is it tucking in and when is it coming out? Let it come out. And try to do it quicker and fluent and easy and free. Stop and find your way to come up to standing. Maybe you can continue the movement with the knees and find your way up. Take a moment in standing. Feel the relation between your hip joints and your pelvis. Is it slightly different from the familiar posture? And let's take our right knee, in and out. You can lift your heel a bit and just slide on your toes. So your toes are staying at the same place and you are rotating your thigh, your hip, your leg. And again, try to do it without moving your pelvis and your chest. And now let it participate. You can breathe. And do the same thing in your left leg. If you want, you can lift your foot from the floor. If you want to involve your balance system. And take a few steps in the room. can you feel the relation now between all your body parts and how the pelvis and the chest can support the movement of the hip joints? It's not all about flexibility in the hip joints. It's how the back is participating, the pelvis, the spine. Can you let your arms swing? And maybe you can feel that your knees want to come up more than usual. And it's okay if you don't feel, you can try. You can try to lift your knees a bit. Feel how the hip joints are allowing it to happen. And walk backwards. And stand for a minute, stop. You can softly close your eyes and thank yourself for the time you took to listen to yourself, to invite yourself to an inner awareness time. And I hope it will help you go on in these challenging days and be more open to new changes, new adjustments. Thank you very much and have a good day.